Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel, and you guys absolutely love an air fryer video. I think that's some of the most popular videos on this channel. So as always, we're going to give you what you guys have been asking for. We're going to have a look through this Ninja air fryer, so Jaws and air fryer. We're going to give it a bit of a review. Now we've had it for a year. So about a year ago, I uploaded the first video about an air fryer on this channel, which I'll try and link in the description, or if not, go have a look at my uploads. I think it's my literally most popular video where I kind of went through everything, all the basics about the air fryer. Now today we're going to go back over that a little bit and have a look at the main functions of it, but with a kind of year's perspective. So to say what I think about them all now we've had it for a year. Because we've used every single button on this air fryer, we've used every single feature, but some of them we've used a lot more than others. And so we'll talk about which ones we use, which ones are useful, how to clean it, how to look after it, that type of thing that isn't always featured in the kind of first reviews. We're going to try and get into those today. So first of all, on the air fryer, you've got 6 different features. Now, if I bring you a little bit closer over here, you can see on there, we've got them. Let me just move you down. So we've got the 6 different features. We've got max crisp, air fry, roast, bake, reheat, and dehydrate. Then at the top, you've got the technology kind of buttons, the sync and the match. Now, being completely honest, guys, the only one we use on a regular basis, like every single day, is the air fry one. That's one that just cooks everything to a nice kind of temperature, nice way of cooking it, nice and quick, nice and easy. So the air fry one, I reckon, is the best one. And the second one we use every now and then is the max crisp. So that one, again, if you just want something really nice and crispy at the end, then the max crisp is the way to go. Now, the other 4 on there, we've got roast, bake, reheat, and dehydrate. Now, being totally honest, guys, we have not used these a lot at all. When we first got it, we did use them all and we went through and tried different things. And for example, the baking one, we did try and bake a few different things, and every single time we used the bake one, it basically cooked the top and left it soggy in the middle. And we messed around with the temperature, we messed around with a few different things, but we couldn't really get on to work. So when we have done some baking, we've kept it to the oven. We've not used this as a baking tool at all since our kind of experiments at the start. Dehydrate, again, we tried something at the start, but we don't really eat anything dehydrated. It worked, it did it, but it's not very useful to us. So again, we've not gone back to it. Reheat, we have used a couple of times reheating a bit of food. Again, it is nice and quick. Not a lot quicker than the microwave. It does pretty much the same job, this does take a bit of cleaning. So we use it on and off, but not a huge amount, probably once a month or so. And then roast, we have done a couple of roasts in it, roast chickens, that type of thing. I do enjoy the roast. Again, not always used, not consistently used, but again, once a month or so, we do use the roast one. So they're all very, very good functions, those 6. I think if you can get the baking one to work, then definitely I'd love to be able to. It's just not something we've been able to get working. But for the rest of them, they do what it says on the tin, and just, yeah, I like them. I have moved this to the kind of kitchen table. It's normally sat on the side in the kitchen, but I've not done anything to it. I've not cleaned it any more than we normally would. I've not brushed it down, nothing. So if you have a look at it, there is a little bit of dust on it. There is a little bit of stuff on it. It's been used. You can tell it's been well used, and we'll open it up and have a look and see what it looks like inside in a minute. But it also does look after itself really, really well. So, like, don't get me wrong, there is a tiny bit of dust on it, but if I just brush the top, we don't normally do a lot to the top of it. We give it a little dust every now and then. There's nothing really coming off on my fingers at all there. And like I said, I've not done anything special to it at all. So it is a pretty good job. Again, if I show you quickly on there, there is a tiny bit of dust, but it's nothing too bad. And like I say, that is completely genuine. We've not done anything special to it at all. Big thumbs up from me in terms of keeping itself clean, looking after itself, as long as you do regularly do it. Now, moving on to that, how do we clean the air fryer? So cleaning the air fryer is a really important job, and you do have to keep on top of it. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside right now and how we've kept it relatively clean. And then I'll tell you how we've done it and what type of things we do every single time we use it. So looking inside the air fryer, this is the front of it. And as you can see in the light, don't get me wrong, it is a little bit battered. It's well loved. There's a couple of marks on it. But like I say, we use it literally every single day. So if we pull them out, this is what we're looking like inside at the minute. And again, look around the top, like there is the odd scratch. There's the odd scuff. There's that type of thing. But if you look inside, they are pretty much pristine, okay? There's the odd mark around the rim, don't get me wrong, but inside they're looking lovely. We take these out, again, underneath, looking nice and clean in there. Absolutely nothing wrong with either of them. And this is after a year, and I know I keep saying it, but we do literally use this every single day. Now, we have a look inside in here. This is a roasting element, and you'll be able to see, like I say, look, we've not done anything special. There's a little crumb of something that was probably cooked last night that needs to be popped into the bin. So the question is then, how do we keep it so clean? And that's what I'm going to show you now, because it is something really important to keep on doing and keep on washing it. So every time you use it, you need to make sure you do the following things. You need to take these 2 boxes out, and I mean, I say boxes, they're probably more like trays. I don't even know what to call them, trays. pull-out drawers. Take the 2 drawers out and make sure that you give them a nice, good scrub. Our air fryer is normally on this wall, and I will talk about the marks on the wall and stuff in a couple of minutes. But we normally obviously keep it here, A, because the socket's right there, but also because there is the sink right here. And so the first thing you have to do when you finish is you get a little bit of fairy liquid and just soak the trays, okay? So all we do when we're done cooking, leave them just like that, obviously with the bits in, and you just get a little bit of fairy liquid, pour it straight into both, and then straight under the hot tap, boiling hot water, into the trays, and then get them nice and resting to soak. Now we leave those like that while we're eating. I'm just gonna bring them back over here, because it means that they are nice and ready to be washed once we're done. Leave them to soak, leave it all to cool down, and then once you're done eating, ready to wash up the rest of your dishes, those are ready to be sorted out as well. When they first come out of the air fryer, they are absolutely piping hot, so you wanna make sure that you're not doing it straight away, but you are getting them ready to be sorted out and not leaving everything to kind of dry and crust on. It is definitely not something you want to do, because trust me, there's been a fair few times over the year where I have forgotten to do that. I have forgotten to fill them up and let them to soak. And when you've got some meat in there, especially like white meats like pork or chicken, they are an absolute pain to get off once they've kind of dried on and crusted on. So while it's hot, get them so you can get them all nice and soft, and then it's much, much easier to clean after. So I'm just gonna pop these straight back in, and I'm gonna take you back over to the other side of the kitchen and talk about the marks on the wall. This is a perfect point in the video just to pause before I get onto those marks on the wall, and just to say thank you guys for all the support you give us on the various different things that we offer to you. So first of all, things like channel memberships. Thank you to those that do sign up to be channel members. We really do appreciate it. It just supports the channel. And then when we give you codes for things like Jam Donut to save some money, or Cash Walk to earn money for walking, or for like if you're getting some Huel powder like I do at the minute, then using our code to get £10 off. All those things are things that help you guys. They help you earn a bit of money, and obviously they help us a little bit too. Recently, we've started doing something called Eureka Surveys, which again is just a survey app. And again, as always, there's a link in the description down below to help you guys sign up to using my referral code, and I get a little bit of a bonus for each time you sign up, and you guys get to earn some extra money for absolutely nothing. So as always, guys, thank you to you guys for the support. None of these videos are sponsored by anyone. None of these videos are paid for by anyone. It all just comes through from obviously my passion for making videos, our passion for sharing what we do, and our passion for helping you guys, and for you guys for giving us that support and helping out where you can. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do, and let's get on with those awful marks in the wall. Now this is the one thing that we weren't ready for. So you can see back here, we have it quite close to the back of the wall, and it has actually stained the back of the wall. You can see where the hot air comes out. I'm not sure how well the camera can pick up. You can definitely see this bit, but it actually does kind of trail up here and then go up here a little bit, where the hot air kind of must come out here and then kind of gets blown up that way. So it has actually have quite a big mark on the wall. Now we have actually known about this mark for a little while, and to be perfectly honest, I've kind of left it there just to show you guys. We are eventually going to repaint this room and get it all nice and fresh again, because it's been a good, it's got to be about 3 years, maybe even 4 years since we have decorated down here. So we are going to eventually redo that, but I wanted to show you all just to make sure if you are looking to get an air fryer, basically don't do what we did. Don't put it right next to the wall when you first start using it. For now, we do therefore leave it right there, because you know what? A bit of damage is already done. It's not really going to make it any worse. But just try and make sure you don't do what we did and leave a little bit of extra space, because the hot vents at the back are very, very hot, and they do damage the wall quite a bit, as you can see. So coming back to the air fryer, and the two of the best features that I have saved till now, because they are literally the two most life-saving things on this air fryer. So these are the sink and the match up here. And again, we use these every single time we cook on this air fryer. So going through what they are just very quickly, if you don't already know, the match function basically means once you put in the buttons, and so let's say I'm going to air fry something, I turn it on, I go to air fry, and then I'm going to put temperature, we can leave it 200, that's pretty much what everything is cooked at, isn't it? And then I'm going to put it on for 15 minutes. Now, that's great for this side. I now need to sort this side out. If I want it to be the same function, or the same time, the same air fry, or everything, then I can just hit match, and it's ready to go. 15 minutes, push that button in, and it will get started. Obviously, I'm not going to leave it cooking with nothing in there. So we end it, turn it off again. But that's how you match everything up. Now, that's brilliant. However, lots and lots of people, when they go and cook, they cook things at different rates. You might have some chips in one side, some meat in the other. They might cook for different lengths of time. And that's where the sync function comes in. So again, all we're going to do is we're going to turn it on, and I'm going to set this side, same again, 20 minutes on an air fry function. However, on this side, on number 2, I'm going to push in the number 2. I don't want it to do that. I want number 2 to be on roast, and I want it to go for 25 minutes. Now, these are just examples. I don't know whether anything cooks like this, but If you do need those 2 different time slots, often for us, we would change it to air. Oh, it was an air fry. Whoops, I missed. So air fry, and let's say something does take 20 minutes, then all you have to do is hit that sync button first before you start cooking, and that'll make sure everything ends at the same time. So watch what happens when I hit start. When you press start, this one will start because that's 20 minutes, and that one is on hold. Now, I'm going to end it there, but basically what happens is after 5 minutes, I'm not going to cook with nothing in there clearly. After 5 minutes, this one will then beep and that one automatically will start, so they're both going to finish at exactly the same time. Now, that is just such an absolute lifesaver, especially when you're busy, when your kids running around you and you're trying to get stuff cooked. It's such a massive lifesaver in terms of you don't need to remember to get stuff started at the right time. Everything is just there and ready to go. Now, the last thing that we found is an absolute lifesaver, an absolute goldmine with this air fryer that we didn't think really would be that important, but has been massive, are actually the instructions. Now, when you get a big appliance, something like this, often the instructions are a bit pants. They're a bit rubbish. They don't really explain stuff, and you're kind of left to wing it, to search online for instructions and how to do things. And with this air fryer, you couldn't be more wrong. So inside you get 2 things. You get this one, which is the quick start guide, which gives you everything, all the information you need to know about how to get started, cooking food, cooking times, recipe ideas, the functions, all that kind of stuff. And then you get these ones, which are just the plain old kind of instructions, the guide. Now, this one that I've just picked up tells you how to get started, how to get it all turned on safely, that type of thing. This one, obviously, after that, once you got used to it, you can then use this to cook some really, really cool meals. Now, I'm going to make another video going through every single page of those instructions. So if you do want to go watch that, I'll try and remember to leave a link, or if not, go find on my channel recent uploads. It'll be uploaded just after this video, so it will be there. But hopefully you guys can have a look at that and see just how important these are, because literally, to me, normal instructions just get kind of chucked back in the box and left, and we had a look at those and they are absolutely amazing. And you can see by just how dog-eared and bent and that kind of thing they are. We use them so often when we use air fryer. A bit of inspiration, a bit of an idea. They're absolutely brilliant. So do go have a watch of that. You can see all the different instructions on the different pages. I will literally show you every single page on those videos, and just go through it so you can pause it and see what you want to see. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. They've been amazing. So my honest review of this air fryer, would I kind of get one again? Let's say it broke tomorrow. Am I going to spend the money and get one again? The genuine answer, guys, 100% yes. If it broke, the first thing I would be doing is getting it fixed or getting a new one. We use this to cook so much. Our oven over there, we actually got a brand new oven a little while after getting this air fryer, because the oven we had was about 4 years old, but the door was breaking. It just wasn't working the way it should be working. So we got this air fryer to use instead. And I think since we bought that oven, in about the 4 to 6 months it's been, we've used it 10 times. Maybe less. The poor thing just sits there and doesn't get used. It's a clock. It's a glorified clock, effectively. Now, again, like I said, we do still need the oven, because for things like baking, that is when we use it, and we don't do a massive amount of baking. We've baked about 10 times. The other thing we do occasionally use is like if you have a big oven pizza, unless you want to kind of chop it up, if it's a fresh one from the fridge, and stick it in on different sides, but we normally do just shove that in the oven. But apart from that, we just don't use the oven anymore. We just get things out, stick them in the air fryer, and they're cooked so much quicker. It literally halves the time. And actually, that's a very good point that I'm just going to randomly stick in the end that I forgot to mention earlier on. But the rough cooking time, so when you get a box of fish fingers or something from the freezer, some chicken, and it says how long to cook it in the oven, genuine guide for that is about half the time of what it says for the oven we'll do in the air fryer. Now, it does depend on the amount you're cooking. If you have a few little bits, it'll be a little bit quicker. If you chuck loads of stuff in the air fryer, it'll take a lot longer, and you have to remember to shake it. We generally try and shake things every 5 minutes in the air fryer. You just take the tray out, give it a good shake around, give it a mix inside, shove it back in, and it restarts cooking automatically. But yeah, generally about half the time it says it will cook in the oven, that's what I'm going to take in the air fryer. It's absolutely fantastic. And I don't know this for sure because I never looked before we got the air fryer, but I assume it saved us a ton of money on using the oven because it's just used for such a less amount of time. If you do want one of these air fryers, I'd absolutely say recommend go get one. I will leave some links in the description for things like accessories, the air fryer on Amazon, all that type of stuff. They are affiliate links, so we do get a little bit of a bonus if you do want to get them, but we only ever recommend stuff that we know and love. And so hopefully you guys can use those and enjoy them as well as we do. Thank you very much for watching this, and as always, there'll be more air fry videos along with all sorts of other stuff on my channel very soon.